NFL Week 7 is here, and this is your FanDuel NFL Week 7 first look. We're going to go through the slate. We're going to go through the positions, quarterback, wide receivers. We're going to take a look at the matchups. We're going to get ready for NFL Week 7 on FanDuel. It's all good. My name is Kevin Allen, aka the Geek from DFS Army. And, of course, before we get in the breakdown, FanDuel has brought back the free money contest. That's right. It's happening again. Last week it was gone, but we've been talking about this all year. There are two contests that FanDuel is running for the main slate that are effectively giving you free money. They have what's called guaranteed overlay. What is guaranteed overlay? That means they're giving more money out than they're taking in. Now, you might be thinking, whatever, I don't care. I never win anyway, blah, 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 whatever your thoughts are. They're wrong, okay? Understand how much of a difference this is. So on a DraftKings contest, I'll give you the perfect, on a standard contest like this, or even on this Sunday Million contest, they have 1.5 million in prizes, but they are collecting, let's see, 15 times, 119,000. So basically the first 100,000 people that pay $15, that equals 1.5 million, right? Then what happens with these other 19,000 people? That's the overlay. That's the money that FanDuel is taking to run the contest. So that would be, let's say, 19,000 times 15. So you're talking about 20,000 times 15. That's about $300,000 that FanDuel is taking from that prize pool as their commission for running the contest. Now let's take a look at the Sunday Rush with $3 entry fee, 240,000 entrants. So let's just do the math. 240, 480, 720 when you multiply 240,000 times 3. So they're taking in 720,000, but paying out 800,000. That means there's $80,000 worth of free money. Not to mention they didn't take the 15% VIG. So if you add that in there, that'd be another $120,000 or so. So this contest has about approximately $200,000 in prizes, more than it should. That is the best contest ever in the history of DFS. This is crazy that it keeps happening. I haven't been able to lose. Even when you're terrible, you don't lose money in these. So make sure to max out the Sunday Rush and, of course, the Sunday Hail Mary as well. This quarter game, if you are not a $3 mass multi-enterer, you certainly should be able to afford 25 cents times 150 or 37.50 to max out this contest. That's what you should do. Doesn't even matter who the plays are. Done. We're done. Just kidding. We're still going to break it down. So now that we know we have free money contests on FanDuel this week, this means you should be playing here. So let's figure out how we can make some money on FanDuel this week. And we're going to go through the matchups, go through the position groups, and see what we can figure out. So real quick, first thing I like to do is just look over the matchups, glance over. There's a couple of dream matchups this week. Dream matchups in NFL Week 7. So let's just get into a couple of those here. Titans at the Bills, not a dream matchup, 41-point total. Bills, nice little team total there. Bills, the new shiny toy, Amari Cooper on the Bills now. I'm excited for Cooper. Not in this game, but in overall. It's going to take a minute for Amari Cooper to get ready. Titans have an elite CB1. It's not probably where I'm going to get on board, but I'm interested down the road. As far as this game goes, though, it's a no for me. Let's move on. Houston at the Packers. This is a dream matchup. Both of these defenses are sneakily better than what you think, but both of these offenses are really good. So this could go a lot of different ways. There's plenty of value to be had on both sides here. So let's get into it. On the Texans, of course, you've got Nico Collins out. So Tank Dell coming in inexpensive. Stephon Diggs still there. Maybe the tight end is of interest here. Joe Mixon comes back strong last week, right? And then here for the Packers, you've got Jordan Love just doing his thing. They love throwing for touchdowns. Love loves to get the touchdowns. 2 touchdowns last week for Romeo Doubs. Probably switches it up this week. They go to Reed or whatever. But Jordan Love definitely in the mix. CJ Stroud in the mix this week. And this game in general is something to build around. Let's see here. Bengals at the Browns. Not super exciting. Either side. Browns games just stink. And now they don't even have Amari Cooper. Ugh, gross. Right? So I'm not interested in this one. Eagles at the Giants. I am interested. That's a low total game that I think can be sneaky. I know, or you can't go back to Daniel Jones. We're not going to do Daniel Jones lineup here. Don't worry. But I do like both sides of that game. I like Hurts. I like Jones. Giants defense is pretty good, but if they could score, I think the Eagles will answer. So Saquon Barkley revenge narrative in this game. Whoever the Giants running back is, if it's Tyrone Tracy, you got to call Tyrone. Sing it with me. Call him if you want to win the contest. Sorry, I apologize for that. But Tyrone has been really, really good. But we'll see if Devin Singletary comes back this week. Miami at the Colts is gross. Miami still does not appear they're going to get Tua back this week. So gross, right? But dream matchup. This is one to build around. Lions, Vikings, 49.5 point total. Close game in the dome. No matter where it was going to be in the dome. Vikings, Samwise the Brave. Addison, Justin Jefferson, top play on the slate. A lot to like about this game on the Lions side, of course. The two running backs, Montgomery and Gibbs, are crushing it. Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams out of nowhere. So they just have weapons galore. Both teams. I like that game. Another super sneaky game. Look at this total. No one's talking about this game, but look at this total. Geno, Kirk Cousins, 51 point total at home for the Falcons. So many weapons to enjoy here. Drake London, Darnell Mooney, DK Metcalf. Tons and tons of weapons. The running game for the Falcons is crazy. Jahmyr Gibbs and Algier. Algier's underpriced on FanDuel. So there's going to be a lot of goodness to come. This is almost a dream matchup. It's not, but it almost is. We got another great one here. Not, the Commanders finally get a puppy dog defense to style against in the Panthers here. So I'm looking for the Washington offense to just style, have fun out there. Just throw some tutties. Get Ertz in the end zone, get Terry McLaurin in there. Let's see who the running backs are. So that game should be pretty good. Even the Panthers team with Dalton has had some life in them. So I'm fine with that too. So 51.5 pointer, almost under the radar. It's not, but I feel like this game's a bit under the radar too. Raiders at the Rams. Not super excited about this one per se. Could have some goodness. It's a little bit under the radar for me in terms of a game that I'm looking to target. Raiders kind of stink, sub 20 point team projection here. And I think the Rams are getting Cooper Kupp back, but it's Kyren Williams is the player that excites me the most from this entire game. And I actually think Kyren Williams would be a really good play. Next, we've got the Chiefs at San Francisco rematch, Super Bowl rematch, 47 point total. Super close game. Probably, San Francisco at home. You would think they're favored for a reason. I think the 49ers weapons are going to be great in this one. With Mason especially injured, go to Debo, George Kittle, Ayuk, all of that. Really good on San Francisco side. KC, maybe, Kelsey has kind of done well against San Francisco in the past. So KC's a little low, a little light on weapons right now. I really have to think about how interested or not interested I might be in using Mahomes. Finally, the Jets with newly acquired Devontae Adams taking on the Steelers, who randomly decided to bench Justin Fields in favor of Russell Wilson. That's a weird decision. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, you know me, I'm a Jets fan. I got the sign in the background. I like the Jets. I never bet on the Jets. To me, this is a bet the Jets spot. Devontae's here. Russell Wilson's going to be in there. Russell Wilson is not suited to go up against the Jets defense at all. The Jets defense is nasty. So this is a tough test for Russell Wilson to make his season debut. I think the Jets will smoke these guys, and I'm actually kind of interested in Jets defense in that game. All right, let's jump over to FanDuel, take a look at some salaries, get a feel for kind of what lineup building looks like on FanDuel and NFL Week 7. Can we afford anything? See if we can find some early week bargains. By the way, this is really important. I do these videos. I record them on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and we don't really know. Like, a lot of the injuries haven't been fully vetted. We don't know what's there's no Bucky Irving as of right now. Like last week we had Bucky. Is there a Bucky? Maybe there is a Bucky. Bucky Irving? No. Is he on the slate? Let's see. No. We don't even get a Bucky Irving, right? So those plays that pop up late in the week that are super bargains. So early week, it's always going to be, don't take this lineup as an end all be all. I have to give that caveat. Lots of stuff happens between now and the end of the week. But that being said, we try to find some of the best early week plays and just get a sense of who we're going to be on for NFL week 7. So let's get into the QB position here with Josh Allen at the top. I don't know if I want to pay $9,200 for Josh Allen facing a Titans team that really just limits fantasy production for the opposition. 9, 18, 27, 36. I mean, he's looking at needing somewhere in the 35, 36 point range to pay off. I'm not feeling that at all. Jaden Daniels also priced up, but I kind of like it. I like Jaden Daniels here. I think he'll do much better if this is a competitive game, or so he's somebody I'll be interested in. But again, a little bit of a spend up there. I'm going to try to spend down at quarterback for the purpose of the video again, because we don't have enough salary to make a full lineup if we just pluck all the studs. Plus, you don't need me to tell you to play Josh Allen or Jaden Daniels, right? We know he's good. All right, Jordan Love, 8,700. Again, averaging almost 24 fantasy points per game, probably the best. He's had I think the one dud, but the rest of his games were all really, really good. So I'm down with Jordan Love. A little Jolo action. Still a little expensive though here on FanDuel. Jalen Hurts at 8,500 at the Giants. I do like that spot quite a bit. Now, could this be a Saquon Barkley game? It might. That's the revenge narrative. So I think it's either Saquon or Jalen, but points will be scored in this one. CJ Stroud, 8,400 again at the Packers. Packers, pretty good defense. I like both sides of this game. I think this is a game we're going to be building around a little bit. But I do want to be a little more creative with this lineup, but this will be a game to build around this week. Burrow at Cleveland. I'm going to pass on that one for now. Mahomes at San Francisco. Again, I like Mahomes. Of course, he's a great real life player. He has not been the best fantasy producer this season to start the season so far, averaging just under 16 fantasy points per game. Not excited about it. Could be played, but not excited about it. I actually almost rather play Brock Purdy, who's weirdly not that different in price from Mahomes. And think about that. Like when you drafted your fantasy team, your season long, you took Mahomes in like round 3 or 4, and Purdy didn't even get drafted, or he got drafted in round 9. They're the same price. How do you like that? I can't believe of all the teams that didn't trade, why didn't the Chiefs trade for a wide receiver? They needed one. Wide receivers went all over the place. Amari Cooper would have been great on the Chiefs. What a bad decision they made. Jared Goff playable as well. Listen, if we're going to play Jared Goff, it's got to be in a spot where the opposing team can stop the running backs. I don't mind it. I don't mind it here at all. I think Minnesota can score. I just think this game is fireworks. This is a dream matchup. We got to play both sides of it. Even Goff, who often gets vultured by his running backs, is very much in play. Although I don't really see him getting like a 30 plus. I could see him in the mid 20s in a game like this. Same for Brock. All good. Geno Smith is very much in play. Yeah, that's right. Geno and Sam Darnold too. But Geno's been slinging it, not scoring monster points, but the price is right here on FanDuel for him at 7,600, saving a solid amount compared to some of the more expensive QBs on the slate. He's averaging almost 20 fantasy points per game. That's what you want. Sam Darnold, I think, is also playable. The Minnesota running game is a little bit weird right now. I think Aaron Jones is injured. And, maybe Ty Chandler be in there. Maybe they're calling up other names and stuff like this. But I like Darnold in this spot. I really do. I like this game to pop. So I think Darnold is very, very playable this week. Let's see who else we have here. Flacco might start for the Colts. He's always fine. I'm always down with a little Flacco. I'm much more interested. If Flacco plays, I'm actually just mainly interested in like Josh Downs. Fields out. Dalton, mildly interesting in that spot as well. I think he's playable. It's not an exciting play, but playable. Kirk Cousins, 7,200. Yes, he could be played as well, right? I really like this game. I like the whole potential on both sides of it. Anybody else that even could be considered here? I'm not going to go to Russell Wilson, even at 6,400. So cheap. Will Levis, never again. Dead to me. He's dead to me. Snoop Huntley, again, best matchup he'll ever have. I don't think I can go there. It's even at 6,700. It's not worth it. Not worth it. I do think Daniel Jones is playable at 7K. Yeah, he's playable. He'll run a little bit. Yes, did he fail last week? Pretty much. But like, it could have been worse, I guess. He could have been Dak. At least he was cheap. That's something. Kirk Cousins playable as well. So a lot of good spots here. I'm going to go with Samwise. At home, taking on Detroit, favored. Not much of a running game to worry about. I think this could be a spot where Sam Darnold shines. So I'm going to plug in Sam Darnold in this lineup. But, you got to feel for all the QBs we were interested this week. By the way, real quick, I got to tell you guys that NBA is right around the corner. The start of the NBA season is literally just days away. And DFS Army, we're tooling up all our stuff, our tools, getting ready. Our sim model is powered up and running. Our research station, our cheat sheets, the whole team is ready to rock. And there's nothing like NBA at DFS Army. I think my favorite part of our NBA coverage, of course, is the Discord and the late breaking news that we keep in our Discord. We have a full-time staffer on the news, focused on it, paying full attention to it. So the minute a player is marked out, we know he's out. We know who's replacing him, and we do our best to get all of the DFS relevant information out in the fastest possible way. That news and information and great projections, those are the keys to NBA. And of course, having a wonderful optimizer like the Domination Station. A lot of you guys are signed up already at DFS Army for our NFL stuff. And if you enjoy it and you want to check out the NBA, what I suggest is check out this offer. So we brought back the VIP 50 offer. That is 50% off DFS Army VIP. It covers all sports. So it's not just NFL and NBA. It's all sports. Everything that we cover: college football, tennis, MMA, NASCAR, golf. So all the main sports and everything else we have on the Optimize. We do projections, ownerships, cheat sheets, everything you want, and a great community of people that are like-minded, that love the game and like to help each other win. So if you want to check that out, it's promo code VIP50 for a month of DFS Army VIP. That does not include me taking you into the champagne room. I get it. The VIP experience does not include that, but it does include our Discord, all of our tools, and a lot of great stuff. So check it out. DFSArmy.com, promo code VIP50 to do monthly VIP for 50% off your first month, $44.99. That is the best deal around, and we want you to check out DFS Army. You don't like it? Cancel. No worries. No hard feelings. All right. Let's get back into it. Let's take a look at the running back position. We'll go running back by running back, talk a little bit about these guys, and see if we can plop a couple of these guys into our lineup. So, Saquon Barkley, sure. Revenge narrative, favored team, everything stands out. Saquon's the man. I want to play it, right? Hell yeah. Kyren Williams, same deal. This is even better. Rams should dominate this game. The Raiders just, who's there? They have no weapons left. It's really kind of a dead team. So give me some Kyren, 8,600. I think it's actually worth paying that. Kyren can get it done for us at 8,600. I'm actually going to plug him in as an RB here. I'd love to get Saquon in there as well, or Saquon or him. They're both great. Joe Mixon, I'm a little more skeptical of in this spot. I just can't believe he's doing as well as he's done. Like, can he really keep it up? I don't know. So I just have a hard time believing he's going to be able to keep this up. But certainly Joe Mixon is in the mix. I'm mixing him in. Bijan Robinson coming off the big game. I just, not Brian, Bijan. I just want to kind of point out with Bijan, and that's Brian. Bijan. I want to point out that he still only got like 15 carries, 4 targets. And you want to hear something crazy? Tyler Algier got more carries, 18 carries last week. So Bijan is still in a split. It's not a good scene. I do think he can produce, but I don't think I'm chasing it, especially after a big week last week. I'm not chasing him for 8,200. Hell no. The guy's only averaging 13 fantasy points per game. Hell no. Right? David Montgomery, Vikings defense, it is important to note, is really, really good. And they're really good against the run. So it's not a situation that I want to target in this game. I think we'll do better with Detroit pass catchers in this one as opposed to running backs. Because again, that Vikings defense is nasty. Brian Robinson Jr. I'd love Brian Robinson. I can't believe the price, 8K. He has risen to a stud level running back. When did this happen, right? It happened this year. But going into the season, we weren't super excited about Brian Robinson. It's amazing how a great quarterback can just turn a whole team around. And that's really what Jaden Daniels is doing with the Commanders. It is amazing. I'm amazed by it. It's awesome. With that being said, this would be a great spot for Brian Robinson if we knew for sure he was healthy. But this price really concerns me. But that Panthers defense is like epically bad against the run. The worst I've ever seen levels. So they're epically bad against the run. Keep it in mind. So if he is healthy, I'm interested, even at 8K. James Cook, no. Jahmyr Gibbs, I think I have the same issues with him as Montgomery. I might like Gibbs a little bit more for the pass catching prowess, but we haven't seen enough of it yet this season. So I'd like to see him much more involved, but they just have so many weapons. Kareem Hunt is somebody I'm going to be interested in on KC, coming off a voluminous 27 rushing attempt game against the Saints. What the hell? That's a lot of rushing attempts, right? So they're just feeding him and feeding him and feeding him. 7,700, I think it's acceptable. Breece Hall with the Jets, tough matchup against the Steelers. I don't know if I love it. I don't know if I love it. I like the price, though, 7,600. But that Steeler defense is nasty as well. But I think Breece Hall gets a touchdown here. I really do. I think he's going to get in the end zone. But it is concerning that he doesn't get a lot of touchdowns. As a matter of fact, even this past week, did he get one? No. I mean, he had a monster game. They gave it to Braylon Allen for the touchdown. So I do have some concerns there. But I also think the breakout is coming. I don't mind it. 7,600. I do like that. Kenny Walker, dynamite. Love me some Kenny Walker in this spot. 8 targets. Where did those come from? Where did that come from? 8 targets last week. What? 8 targets the week before. They're throwing it to Kenny Dobbs. New skill set unlocked. You remember the knock on Kenny Walker was he couldn't catch a pass. They're going to bring in pass catching backs. The Charbonnet. No, he can catch a pass. He's fine. I like this crew here in the 7Ks. Chuba Hubbard also playable. Listen, do I wish he was on the favored team? Yes, of course I do. But he's been getting, again, 18 carries, 6 targets, 13 carries, 4 targets, 18 carries, 4, 21 carries, 5. This is elite volume. This is guys should be priced with the highest price running backs level volume. And the team, as long as it's had Andy Dalton at the helm, has not been dead. There's a real offense there. So I like Chuba as well. Josh Jacobs, at 7,300, doesn't have the touchdowns this year, but I like it. I'm less into Tony Pollard this week, but I don't mind it either. Like I don't think the Titans will make a game of this, but if they did, it's because Pollard's scoring a touchdown as well. So 7K, acceptable. Here's the thing. This week, there isn't too much going on in the cheaper zone that I've at least identified so far as being good. I guess you could now Eckler, no. Even in a great matchup, I can't really get too excited about that. Chase Brown also no. Not, why not? We love Chase Brown. The volume isn't great. He's okay, but the volume's not really great. So it's nothing I want to build around. Now, Tyrone, yes. Maybe Tyrone. If there's no Singletary, I don't mind a little Tyrone. 17 rushing attempts, 6 targets. Those are the kind of volume numbers I'm looking for out of a 6K running back. Now, the problem is Devin Singletary is trying to, ruin our time. He's got the Gurn injury. So I don't know. I guess I hope he doesn't get better so we can play Tyrone Tracy for 6K. Isaac Garendo. If Mason doesn't come back, then Isaac Garendo for the Chiefs is somebody I'm going to be interested in 6K. Again, these are some of those potential late week values that I was talking about before. I've got another one that might be really exciting, right? So Jerome Ford looks like he's going to be out, and they're saying Nick Chubb is going to come back, but what about Donta Foreman? What if Nick Chubb doesn't come back? And you get some Donta Foreman action for 5,400. And he's the starter. Now, I get it. Cleveland will be an underdog, but it's not like the Bengals run defense is good. So there's a couple of names hanging out down here that might pop for us. Even Ray Davis, if we get another game without Cook. So there are names down here that might be interesting, but we kind of have to hear some more info. Assuming we don't hear any more info, Tyler Algier at 5,800 is also somebody I think we should keep on the radar. Again, I mentioned him last week, 18 rushing attempts and a target. So yeah, Bijan outscored him by just a smidge, but Tyler Algier actually outworked Bijan, and that happens enough that is not a coincidence. We can keep going back to that play. Alexander Madison as well might be sort of, I don't know if who the hell's the other guy over there at this point? Zamir White is going to be back or not. So we'll pay attention to that. Let's jump over to defense before we'll go defense, tight end, and then we'll look at some of these wide receivers. So with defense, if you guys have ever watched me do any breakdown, the first thing I'm generally looking to do is just find the cheapest viable defense. And then from there, I want to look for, all right, what's like the actual good defense that I actually maybe want to target. So cheapest viable to me, I think, are the Giants. The Giants are weirdly kind of a pretty good defense this year. They're 3,200, which is super cheap, and they're facing a Philadelphia team that has been bleeding points to opposing defenses. They have, including last week. I don't remember who the hell they played, but whoever it was, they bled some points to that. I just remember it, but I can't remember who. Sorry, can't remember, but doesn't matter. Let me know in the comments. You're like, hey, Geek, you're an idiot, whatever. I get it. Giants, though, I think it's playable at 3,200. Not an exciting play, but something that I think is playable. No. Houston, no. Detroit, no. Vikings, maybe. Vikings defense has been so good. You could almost play them against an elite offense, but probably not. San Francisco, yeah, and probably no. I don't like to play any defense against Mahomes. And similarly, I don't like playing defenses against Kansas City. So I'm going to pass on both those. The Rams would be okay, maybe at 4,100, going up against the Raiders and their just crapola offense. But, it's nothing that stands out to me. Seattle, no. Colts, yes. So the Colts are one of the worst defenses in the league. But anytime you get a chance to go up against, Scoop Huntley, it's not a bad thing. Steelers at the Jets, maybe, right? Maybe. Not super excited about it. Washington, no. Eagles, yes, at the Giants. This is Daniel Jones. He's a guy that will oftentimes feed opposing defenses fantasy points. Jets at the Steelers, yes, right? Bengals at Cleveland, yes. And Bills, of course. Listen, both of these teams, Deshaun Watson and Will Levis, are the gifts that keep on giving to defenses. Do not ignore this. They're the gifts that there are turnover machines. They get sacked a ton. I can't remember the last time Deshaun Watson went through a game where he wasn't sacked a whole bunch of times. That just happens every time. So lots of these two, Bills and Bengals, if I'm trying to pay up. But for now, I'm going to leave that Giants defense in there. Just save that money. Plus, I like the correlation with Tyrone. Now, again, don't at me if Devin Singletary starts and Tyrone's not a good play anymore. I get it. This is early week, but if Tyrone does start, I'm really excited. I would definitely, if Singletary's out, I would definitely start him, and he'd be one of my favorite values on FanDuel this week. Make that money on that $3 contest. All right. We got our defense in. This is where I remind you that if you're enjoying this video and you like having FanDuel content, hit that like button, smash the subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed here to the DFS Army channel. We are going nonstop with DFS content. Again, NBA around the corner. We got daily shows for NBA. You're going to love it. You're going to love all of it. So make sure you hit that like button. You're subscribed to the channel, notification bell, all that good stuff. Promo code VIP50, 50% off DFS Army VIP. Get in there, do it now. Check out what DFS Army has to offer. Okay. Tight end position. George Kittle, 7,500. I love it, right? Good play, good spot. Same with Kelsey. Who else does Mahomes have to throw to at this point? Kelsey smashed the 49ers in the Super Bowl. T-Swizz is going to be there. She's like, hey, man, get me a touchdown. She asks, he's going to do it, right? Wouldn't you? I would. So, yeah, Kittle and Kelsey in this game, I like them a lot. Brock Bowers has been pretty much the best tight end, I feel like, this year almost. So I like him. Laporta, you finally see Laporta do something. You're like, Laporta's back. And then you look up and it's like, oh no, he just got one target. Like that big touchdown he got last week. I was like, I must have had a good game. No, just the one target. It's coming eventually for Laporta, but I don't know when. Kincaid also not super exciting. Can we pay down, pay up? I don't know. Like if we're going to pay up, I definitely like George Kittle or Kelsey as my pay up option. And I think Brock Bowers is always in play, especially now without Devontae Adams. It probably makes Brock Bowers an even better play. So these pay up options I really like. I'm going to be, Laporta is the ultimate GPP only. Like he's getting 3 targets. It's too risky. All of a sudden he'll pop for 10 targets. We'll be like, oh, why don't we play him? Like we didn't play him because he's been getting 2 or 3 targets every week. So he will pop one of these weeks. Kincaid, talk about not getting a ton of targets. 7, 6, 7, 5. I mean, it's very average for Kincaid. They just have not featured him. He's fine. 6,300 is okay. Kyle Pitts, I think, is playable here. Tucker Kraft is fine. These are guys, they're not that different. You probably get the same 4 or 5 targets like it's not even that different. So if we're going to play in the cheaper zones here, one guy I really kind of like is David Njoku. Njoku, now with Amari Cooper gone, is going to have to be a focal point of the Cleveland passing offense. They could still throw the football and they're fine. He got a bunch of targets last week. You know what? Coming off of 7 targets, 5,300. Let's plug him in, right? I'm playing bargain plays today, right? At the end, I got too much money. Got extra money to spend. How much do we have? 7,300. Yeah, we're playing the bargain guys today. Maybe we'll upgrade some of these spots later on. So the Samwise lineup is starting off well. And I think the first thing you want to do if you're playing Darnold is you want to plug in Justin Jefferson alongside him. Now, he's expensive, took our average salary remaining down, but luckily we've been playing bargain guys, so we're able to do it. Jamar Chase, always have the big upside as well, but I'd rather play Jefferson, I think. AJ Brown also, probably somebody I'm more pairing with Jalen Hurts than anything else, but certainly a good play. Amon-Ra's great. Stephon Diggs, I think I prefer Tank Dell for cheaper. Malik Neighbors is up there. Coming off the concussion, people get scared when they see the Q-Tech. There's nothing to be scared about. If he comes off the concussion, he's going to be fine. Like there's no recovery period. He's fine. Debo's good. DK Metcalf is good. Cooper Kupp coming back this week. Him I'm a little nervous about, but look at all these great wide receiver plays, and they're all bunched together from 8K and up. I don't know how you choose. It's too much goodness here. It's gonna be tough to choose. But it's easy to pick those kind of guys. What we have to do is find the value plays. So there's T. Higgins, Smith, Jaden Reed, 7,600 coming down. I like to see that salary come down a little bit more for Jaden Reed, but he definitely can smash in the spot. He usually only gets 6 to 8 targets on, he hasn't gotten more than 8, but he hasn't taken that much. So he's somebody I like a lot. Drake London been scoring a touchdown every week, finally kind of displaying the studliness that we all thought he could be when he came out of college. It's great to see it. Kirk Cousins is the man. Wilson, probably not. Worthy, too expensive there. Terry McLaurin, TMC. Getting it done week after week with that stud quarterback, Jaden Daniels. I like Terry McLaurin. I like him this week. I like him here. Deontay Johnson I like as well. But, great. First name I'm going to plug in, though, is Tank Dell. Tank Dell got peppered with targets. It just seems like CJ Stroud likes this kid. And with Nico Collins gone, he just got fed targets. So I can go right back to that. I like this matchup. I like this game environment. I like a lot of it. I also like Deontay. Like I said, I really like Deontay. McLaurin is good. London. So tons and tons of kind of names to click on this week as we're filling up our 150 lineups here for this contest. Devontae Adams with the Jets. I actually have a feeling he's going to score a touchdown. I just do think that's going to happen. 6,900 is a great price. So I don't mind playing him, even in a rough matchup against the Steelers. It's just the reunion of Rodgers and Adams is too good to patch up. It's too good. It's too good to pass it up. It's real. It's not some revenge narrative. It's the real deal. I like it. Let's see, though, how much salary we have left before I keep talking. 6,400. So let's see what the cheapest viable wide receiver we can identify is. Who's your quarterback wide receiver stack this week? And which game are you building around? Let me know in the comments, guys. And also let me know, are you maxing? Which of those contests are you guys going to max out? One hit the $3 one, the quarter game. Do you do them both? And if you do them both, do you put the same 150 in both, or do you make 300? Give yourself more chances to win, but also a kick in the balls if you accidentally win the quarter game instead of the $3 one. Like, oh yeah, big difference, 70K down to like $3,000, you know? So let me know. This guy's interesting for me, Josh Downs, by the way. Josh Downs at 6,400. If Joe Flacco, now it's too early in the week. I don't know if Joe Flacco is going to be the quarterback, which is why I'm not going to do it in this lineup. But I need to mention, like, Josh Downs got that. He has the great connection with Flacco. Look at all these targets the last few weeks. So yeah, give me some Josh Downs, especially if Flacco plays. I'll plug him right in there if I could. But the actual name I'm going to plug in here is Jordan Addison. And primarily, if I'm playing Darnold, you know, he's the kind of quarterback that I do want to double stack. So give me a little Darnold, Jefferson, Addison. And I'm going to look for a piece here. And, you know, to build a proper lineup, we really want to bring back from Detroit. So, well, actually, I don't even care. You know, I don't even care. I just want the best available. So we got 6,500 left. Let's see what we can do here in the flex. Actually, you know what I have to do first is complete and go through all of the wide receivers, because that's what you pay me to do. So you don't pay me. Wait a minute. But you know what I mean. So yeah, Jalen Waddle's a no. K-Shaq's probably a no. Although I like that price, but Tennessee, not exciting game. Cooper, new team, great price. You know, it's tempting. At 6,100, it's actually tempting. JSN, yes, sure, why not? I do prefer playing running backs in the flex on FanDuel, and that's probably the way I'll go here. But there are some good wide receiver plays here. Juju, you know, can we chase what happened last week? I don't know. Slayton, I'd be interested in if, you know, Malik Neighbors is out. He might be interesting if Malik Neighbors plays, you know, like go back to him. Dub scored a couple times last week, you know, playable, but keep in mind, you know, again, the volume, not the best. He's normally not getting more than 5 or 6 targets. Slayton Pickens, probably not the best play there. Leggett, you know, Leggett's actually been getting it done, getting in the end zone. Got a little tutty. I think, yeah, he got that tutty last week. So not too bad, but probably not how, you know, somebody's super excited about it. Keon Coleman, okay. Christian Watson could be interesting. Christian Watson, Dubs, that's the problem. There's a lot of names on the Packers. It's hard to stack. It's hard to figure out who to play. Tyler Lockett, maybe, right? That Seattle game is kind of good. Ridley, no. I don't want anything to do with Levis at this point. Lazard, ruined. Here's a guy that might be interesting. Jerry Jeudy, cheap price, and now no Amari Cooper. So he's going to be the WR1 by default, I think, right? Don't you think? That's a pretty cheap price for a WR1, even if your quarterback is Deshaun Watson. Now, of course, I would never play Njoku and Jeudy in the same lineup, but had to mention it. That's going to do it. So that's about it for the viable wide receiver group. Let's plug our last spot here in and see who we can find there. Jameson Williams, I could play him. Laporta, Chase Brown, Downs fits there. Couple names. I say let's go with it. Let's go with Detroit, Minnesota. The bring back to complete the stack. Jameson Williams. Now, again, normally I'd prefer playing a running back here, but you know, we'll work on that for you know, I'd have to squeeze some salary out to get that third running back in and get a pay up somewhere. So for now, let's leave it like this. Jameson, well, I like this lineup. I'm putting it in. Take down this tournament. The stack is Samwise the Brave to Jefferson and Addison, double stack. Bring it back with Jameson Williams, same game. We got Giants defense stacked up with their running back. Love the defense running back stack. Little correlation there. Kyron Williams, just a standalone running back play in an elite spot. Tank Dell getting all the targets with Nico Collins out this week. and Jameson Williams, the brand, David Njoku, part of that Cleveland game where he's going to get the targets because Cooper was traded. Let's go. Good luck this week, everybody. We will be back, of course, on Wednesdays for the showdown breakdown for Thursday Night Football, and then your favorite show, Tournament Tactics, on Friday with Bobby Wow, with Josiah, with Burns, the Shark Lab, and myself, where we'll go through the NFL main slate for NFL Week 7. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.